Welcome to the Rich Lady Revolution, redefining rich with Diane McKendrick. Hey, lovely lady, I see you. You're an ambitious, high-achieving woman, driven, passionate, and ready for more. More money, more impact, more freedom. This is the place where women just like you come together from all over the world to break the old rules and redefine what it truly means to be rich. Because being a rich lady is about so much more than money. Joining the Rich Lady Revolution with those two sisters is about more than the money in your bank account. It's about building wealth on your terms, doing what you love, with who you love, and creating a life that feels as good as it looks. It's about stepping into your unshakable power and purpose. This podcast, combined with my 5th book, is your personal invitation to step into your rich lady identity. I will be here to educate, inspire, and empower you along the way, to support you to cut the crap, do the thing, and be the rich lady you were born to be. So if you are ready to elevate your income, your impact, and your life, the revolution starts now. Hello, and welcome to episode number 264 of the Rich Lady Revolution, where we work together to redefine rich and what wealth truly means to you. Today, I have a beautiful guest here, and I'm going to share quickly how we met, who it is and how we met, and then I'll hand over to you, Natalie, to share your version of that and what we just chatted about before we got on the podcast. So we met very briefly at the She Moves event. Michelle and I were keynote speakers. Joe put on her event, and it was just such a beautiful event, like a room full of so many incredible, divine human beings. And if you listen to the podcast up, I did interview Joe on the podcast as well, and there's another event coming up, which we'll tell you about later. But whilst I was there, you get drawn to certain people in the room, and this room, let me tell you, was just full of just the most magnificent human beings. And I'd seen you across the table a few times, and I'd gone over to chat to you and get distracted on the way over. And then finally, towards the end of the event, we got a chance to chat and connect, and I was deeply inspired, and I saw you speaking on stage, and I really want to get you on the podcast to introduce you to my people and share your ethos even more so with the work, because I know you do a lot of this type of work. So Natalie Robson, thank you for joining us here today on the podcast.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me, Diane.
Yeah, it's awesome to have you here. Do you want to share with our listeners who you are, what your background is, and then we'll just the conversation will just take its natural tone. So yeah, who are you and sort of what do you do? Yeah.
So first of all, I'm a human being.
I love that.
I have an 8-year-old son, Hudson, and I live in Port Macquarie in New South Wales. My background before I started this work was in real estate and property development, where I spent a lot of time in that space. And since COVID came and since Hudson came, my son, I've just settled here and gone for the last 8 years on a deep inward journey. So with that, I've had many great teachers, and two of them are the Oneness Movement, Sri Prithiji and Sri Krishnji, which is what I teach their teachings, have had a profound effect on my life. And also Dr. Shefali, who's conscious parenting coach. So I also did her training. So I found over this 8 years, I've had a lot of interesting experiences, and one may call challenges that maybe I internalized at the time. And the way of coping through them and actually moving through at times was difficult. There was a lot of overwhelm, fear, anxiety. And through that, I have learned a different way of living life. And my life has changed dramatically. I can't even start to explain the difference of my life. It's like almost polar opposites. And yeah, I just wish to share that with the world, because you're only aware of what you're aware of. And I had no idea of that life that I was living. I was so immersed in just doing, rather than just being. I was completely unaware. And now just life is so much more effortless. Synchronicities occur. I don't have to push like I used to push. And challenges do arise. But the internal way I deal with it is from a place of calm versus before. It was frantic chaos.
Yeah. Here's the question. So you mentioned that you were felt overwhelmed, fear, and anxiety. And whilst you were in that part or version of your life, you didn't really realize that there was anything else. And I hear this from a lot of people, where they're in this program of push, hustle, sacrifice, strive. We just do what we've been taught. We do what we've been seen. And you've been lucky enough to change that. Was that a defining moment? Like, was there a defining moment, or was it lots of small, subtle changes, or something else?
There was a defining moment where I was actually in a course in Abu Dhabi. So my nervous system was in fight or flight. There was a lot going on. And as I explained when we were at Joanne's event, I felt like I was in a Netflix series. There was so much chaos. You couldn't even believe what was occurring. And I get there, and generally when I've done these events, I have been so happy, so excited. This one, they walked in and I actually just started bawling my eyes out. And it was just like, I was like, I can't handle this anymore. This has got to stop. And then I went through many processes and meditations. And then after it was 3 or 4 days, I had an experience of bliss. And I went pretty much from the worst time of my life existing on this planet to the most incredible time. It would be the top 3 experiences of my life. And I was like, okay, if somebody has the teachings that can get me through the worst to the best, this is my life. And as then it's continued on and on and on and on and gotten better and better. But I had to go to that place of low to be able to work out that the gap with those 2 experiences within 4 days was phenomenal. So, and then that's when I started becoming a stress detox trainer, a beautiful state trainer. I created a retreat center at my house. I have a hall. I teach meditations. It was so profound, yet so obvious that you could not ignore. Once you've seen the truth in that space of where you can move to. And at the time, it felt so real. It was like, I don't even know how I'm going to get out of this. It's so intense. And the healing started there, and then the journey to where I'm at now. So yes.
So massive, life-changing, life-altering transformation, basically leading up, the overwhelm, the anxiety, the frustration, the Netflix series that was your life until that moment in Abu Dhabi where you were in a course. And this is why we, you run retreats and run events as well. And this is why we often say there's something magical when people all come together with a co-regulated nervous system or a similar intention. And I know in the medical world, they prescribe you medicine, but I feel like the true medicine of the world is each other and community and breath and time and space, so you can experience the beauty of the beautiful life or the beautiful state that you're talking about, regardless of what's happening externally, because life can be challenging. It's part of the script. There's challenges there, but I heard you also say before, in my interpretation of what you said is no matter what's going on externally, you have a peaceful, calm environment from within that then gets to be shared outwards. Not the other way. I feel like the previous life, it was like the external environment was chaotic and frantic, frenetic, and then internals like that, and it just builds and builds and builds and builds. And this is what we find, like a lot of ladies that we work with, because we work with ambitious businesswomen who are often doing quite well in business, and they love what they do and they're really good at what they do, and they come to us because this beautiful state that we're speaking about is your normal, is my normal, and they feel drawn to that. So do you have any messages for the ladies that might be listening to this and really resonate with that anxiety, the frustration, the depression, the frenetic feeling all of the time, the Netflix life kind of series? If they're listening to this, maybe perhaps this could be their defining moment, or a breadcrumb along the way that supports them. Because we're running a retreat this week, and I know we get the experience you just explained. I get to watch again and again and again and again within women, and I know it's not just that couple of days together. Everything's designed and divinely orchestrated for each of them to have their own experience, or for all of us to have their own experience. But there's so many things. There's little conversations, there's podcasts, there's little bits you're reading out of books. There's the look when you order your coffee, someone might look at you differently, or you catch a glimpse or a laugh, or you hear a child giggle, and there's all these little moments that are accessible to us every single moment of every single day that lead up to this defining moment, or this shift and this change where the veil comes off, and it's like life can never ever be the same again. So what do you have anything you might like to say to those ladies that are listening and leaning right in and being like, oh, I get it, I know what she's talking about, and I want to go from here to here, and I want to experience this beautiful state?
So for me, the most beautiful thing I have done in my life was give myself time. So time to heal, time to look within. I was what I would call an achiever, doing since I was a child, sports, whatever came through, and I never stopped, and I never inquired in. And it's so easy to be distracted and immerse yourself. Like, I'll tell you a funny story I had when we lived in Manly in Sydney. Had a cleaner for the first 6 months. She thought I did not exist, that I was made up, because I was never home. So my life was just work. What was I seeking? Love and fulfillment. That's something that's within, not external.
Oh, boom. Mic drop, mic. I'm like, we can finish the podcast now. That's the words of wisdom. Can you say that again? So you were seeking through work, go. You were seeking love and fulfillment. And oh, it's got goosebumps. And Natalie just reminded us all that comes from within.
Yes, love is within. And we are conditioned, many of us, that when you do, you receive love. And people will love me and they'll like me because look at me. I'm this, I'm that. However, to allow yourself just time to go on the inward journey and allow the vulnerability, that's the real strength. To allow the imperfections, to hear the thought noise. What is my mind actually speaking every day? Because when I did that for the first time, I was shocked. My mind was very cruel to me. The way it would stop in certain situations and put me down and make me feel bad. It was operating constantly like that. And when you can see you're just running habit and it's not the truth in that moment, and that we can shift these thoughts and we can move to a far more beautiful place, but it takes time to sit and to be and to see the truth. We feel at that point in time, it is so real because our mind's going so fast and there's no other noise. It's just going, rather than allowing it to be calm, to quieten, to have that silence. And in that silence, everything appears. But unless you make a decision that you consciously want to improve your life, this is the only reason why we're here, to have a magnificent life. There is no other reason. It's not to own the big house on the hill with the boat and the car and have the perfect family and go on holidays constantly. That was my life. I was unhappy. And I am so grateful that I've been able to have that opportunity to actually get there and go, oh my God, is this all there is? And to see how perfect I had to have the day in order to feel that was a good day. Now, I live on a rural property, I'm in nature, the animals are my friends, and I can just be and get the same experience than what I had to seek for that perfect day by just seeing nature.
Oh, so I love that. It really resonates with me because it's quite a similar journey to mine. And probably so many people that are listening, go, do more, be more. And the brain just going a million miles an hour and it just doesn't feel like there's an off switch. No. And then at some point you hear something, you hear something or feel something. And you said some words a little bit ago that I had the exact same words. Is this all there is? I still remember the day. I was walking to work. I was also in property. I'd worked my way up from receptionist, because I was so shy and timid, all the way through to a portfolio manager. And I was walking past the real estate glass window, and I caught the reflection in my eye. I had this bloody suit on, I had those stupid pointy toe shoes that hurt your feet, I had a briefcase of BlackBerry back in the day, the bag of coffee under my arm, and I was like walking with purpose, but not the purpose I know now, to get to where I needed to go. And there was just this moment, and I caught the look in my eye in the reflection, and I thought to myself, I wasn't quite young, I was about 23, 24. It's like, is this all there is? And the answer that came back was, because if it is, I don't really want to be part of it. And from there, midlife crisis, quit my job. And my job was my identity. Sounds like it was for you too. I had a house at Bulimba, nice car, hot boyfriend, all the things I thought made me happy, but it wasn't what my soul was craving and calling for. And I went into a pretty dark time after that, because I knew that life wasn't for me, but I hadn't yet got seeked the support of the community, or that was just a time I needed to go within and let it be dull and let it be quiet and let it be pretty chaotic and dark internally, so I could connect with those pieces and parts of myself that had been stifled through busyness or through work. And I'm so glad that I did. I remember, you know, walking, because I lost my whole identity, had a midlife crisis at the age of 25 or something. And I'd listened to audiobooks. I'd never even listened to a book before, read a book or podcast, but I just was grasping onto anything that could have this different feeling that I get when I talk to you and other people who live in a beautiful state. And I could feel it. I couldn't put it into words. I'm listening to books, I'm listening to podcasts, and I vowed in the moment. I still remember the morning walk. I was heavier, I was dense, I was like vibrating quite low, I was drinking a lot of alcohol. And I thought to myself, I'm going to be the woman that creates a podcast and writes books to help other ladies that are going through what I'm going through right now. Fast forward several years, I've published my 6th book. I got 40 co-authors. This is 260 something of my podcast. No one showed me how to do this. Like I sat there on Google, like, how do I do this? And now we get the opportunity to share this conversation and share this. It's an opportunity, but it's regardless of what's happening, it's in each and every single one of us. At every moment of every day, whether you're awake or asleep, whether you're chaotic or calm, we have access to it. But I think a lot of people disregard it because it doesn't cost $10,000 or $20,000, or because you don't have to work really hard to get it. It's there for us always. And people call that feeling different things. And to me, it doesn't matter what people call it, but it's the conversation with yourself and others around you that what is beyond the physical form, what is beyond the construct of time and this little box of a life that we want to live in. And then you said it beautifully, like, there's so much more. We're here for love and for fulfillment, doing something that's meaningful to us and being able to be deeply connected with what's beyond the human form. So I'm so excited for people to listen to this because I can feel like oozing from you. And it's like osmosis. I feel it even more. And that's how we can keep sharing this around. As humans, we are in a flesh suit, we are in human bodies, and it houses the soul depending on your belief. And to me, it's a daily devotion, not even daily, momentary devotion to connect back within, beyond my physical experience. And something that's helped me a lot recently do that is when I met you in the little gift bags at the event we were at. I just found it again this morning. Was a little brochure, and it had good morning meditation on it. Do you want to tell us, because we're talking about this quiet time and we're talking about community and we're talking about a couple of different things. Let's like give people a tangible something they can sink their teeth into and go, oh, this, maybe I could start here. Or maybe if you're still well on the journey, you can join in and expand the experience. So good morning meditations. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
I would love to, yes. So good morning, the morning meditation started this year. And what I did, I've created a platform where people can come 365 days a year at 6 a.m. Sydney time, AEST currently, and meditate for 10 minutes. So you're in a field and we're doing a guided meditation. And that meditation is called the Soul Sync, which is a beautiful meditation as you would have experienced. And it's designed to get your brain to move into a theta brainwave state. And when we're in that state, we're able to put out to the universe what our intention is. What do we wish to manifest into our lives? And the synchronicities, the magic that it comes, like you can't put the order in and expect it to come tomorrow, but I can tell you it does happen in the most beautiful unfolding of ways of beyond words. So I have done that for many years every morning. It's the first thing I do when I get up in the morning, and it has assisted me greatly. And one of my great teachers from the oneness movement, she was with a group of us the other day, and she said, it doesn't matter what you've done. I went through all these different courses. No matter who you are, nobody is the exception. Nobody. If you're not doing a daily practice, this is going to start running the show. Now, do you want it to be frantic in beta brainwave state, jumping from tree to tree and starting your morning off like chaotically, which I used to do, running, out the door, we have to get out quick, let's go, get the lunches, everything, move it, or from a place of calm. And that's the most beautiful way you can start your day, is with that intention in that space. And it's amazing. Like I even notice if I don't do it, my day is different, definitely.
Yes.
So, and I've been practicing, but nobody's exception. And Joanne brought up something beautifully actually at that event, which was we all have stuff. If I use the words of Dr. Shafali, she's yet in over 30 years to meet someone who's had conscious parents. Not one. We all have stuff. And this is the perfect way of rewiring the brain and bringing it back to calm. But without a daily practice, it's like trying to become an Olympian and not training. It doesn't work. And this is the thing that comes first. People, how many times people come to me and said, oh, well, I've just been too busy, or, I'm just not in the right headspace for it at the moment. I'm like, that's exactly why you need to do it now.
That's the point.
However, it's the mind taking control and saying, this is not important.
Yeah.
And it's like the horse and the cart. People are putting the cart before the horse. And it's very hard for that horse to push the cart versus starting off calm, being connected to the universe, manifesting beautiful things in your life, and over time, changing your brain.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I love about it is the consistency. So you said it's 365 days, like it's every day,
yes.
Which feels so good because from when I joined up, I've been on most days with the exception here or there if I have an event or the kids are awake, but the kids can sit with me and do it as well. And it's maximum usually 15 minutes. And the days my brain says exactly like you said, oh, I don't have time or I don't feel like it or blah, blah, blah. They're the days that I need it more. And so it's the same for anybody listening to here. We're going to give access to all of the listeners.
And it's free, sorry.
It's free. So what we'll do is we'll put the link in the show notes so people can jump on and sign up. Michelle's been on there almost every single day as well. So Michelle and I get on there and I can really see it's something being a long-term commitment for us because I feel like the healing world, the personal development world, it can be quite fickle sometimes as people feel like they need more dopamine hits or they need a bit of shift and change and whatever. But the way I feel and my experience so far with this is very similar to what Michelle and I are creating. It's less about swinging from tree to tree, as you mentioned, and more about coming home. And when you can come home to yourself first and foremost every single day, that does become contagious, not just within your family unit. Like, and you even sharing that experience previous to these meditations and a whole bunch of other, things I've done to support myself to slow down, calm the hell down, and tune in. It was exactly like that. It was frenetic trying to get out the door, and that was contagious to my kids. Whereas now every morning I do that meditation, it's like some magic spell that supports me to feel so grounded, so centered, regardless of what's happening on the outside. And there'll be other things that you can come across through your day and little anchors throughout the day as the day rolls on. We've got a retreat this weekend. I was talking to Michelle about, I call it the dinner time rush. So when you've got 2 little kids, I'm solo parenting at the moment, 2 little kids, 2 cats, you're cooking dinner, you're bathing the kids, someone bloody poos in the bath or the cat craps on the floor or something, the energy goes up. And I used to think, I have to be calm in this and put essential oils all over my head and I play the cool putty music while I'm trying to cook dinner. But the reality is sometimes in life, things are happening and it is a little bit of an elevated state. And you can step forward into that from a calm place and meet it. But you can only do that if you've got that deep grounding. And for me, that starts in the morning, which is why I think you guys do it in the morning, because it sets the state for the day. And like you said, the brain waves that then carry on through the rest of the day. And then I have little other anchor points when I start to get carried away or get too busy or start reacting to life. I breathe. And I remind myself why we're here. And then I feel like I'm divinely guided rather than just working through a to-do list like a bloody crazed monkey or ape. So I really love chatting to you. And we'll put that link in down below so everybody can have access to it. Is there anything else you would like to share? Because we're just gone on 11:30, so we'll tie it up. But I want to see if there's anything else that comes through for you to share.
I just would like to encourage people to go within, because it's the most beautiful gift you can give yourself. And if you'd asked me 8 years ago how I would be right now and where I'd be living and what I would be doing, I would not believe you. And it allows you, through going within, to find your authentic being, to find your purpose, to come back home, as you said. And if everybody in the world did that, this world would be a completely different place. And I think we've all got to agree it's in an interesting state at the moment. And we're not here to live like that. And whatever it feels like, it doesn't need to be. When you stop and you pause in a frantic state and you look around you and you look around nature and it feels so real and you see everything else is in harmony. It's just my inner world. So we can all get to that place. But it needs a decision and then it needs discipline. So we welcome you to start the journey at Join Us All and Good Morning Meditation.
Yeah, come along to the Good Morning Meditation. We'll drop it in down below. And I have a whole bunch more I want to say, so maybe we need to do another podcast.
Yeah, sure. I love it.
Just honouring your time as well. So make the decision and then use discipline to do it. And yeah, I think that's a really good place to start. So anybody that is listening in from Natalie's friends, family, followers, I'm Diane McKendrick. I'm one part of those 2 sisters. I work with my older sister, Michelle Ann. She's a legend. She's the one that did Kuan Yin, who met Joe, who then met Natalie. And you can find us on our website, www.those2sisters.com. We also have Instagram and Facebook and LinkedIn. So you just type our name in and you'll find us. I will also put in the show notes some free audiobooks. So I've got all my audiobooks, but me and some of them my daughter as well. When she was 8, she read the chapter headings. So you can listen to the audiobooks and then obviously you can listen, just scroll down the podcast. There's 200 and something to choose from and just intuitively choose what you feel like you might want to listen to today. So thank you, Natalie, for coming in and having a chat. And thank you everybody for listening. We'll see you at the same time, same place next week. Wow, what an episode. Now here's the thing, knowledge is power, but action is where the magic happens. So if today's episode lit a fire in your belly and you're ready to cut the crap, do the thing and step into the woman you were born to be, then I've got something special for you. Join us inside the Rich Lady Revolution, the membership. It's your next level support system and soul-powered strategy space to redefine what it means to be rich. Rich in profit, peace, presence, and power. This is your invitation to experience what it's like to be fully supported and deeply connected with a world-class coach and a community of high-caliber women who get it. Women just like you. Women walking the path of aligned success with no more burnout, no more sacrifice, and absolutely no more hiding. Inside, you'll receive weekly accountability, rich conversations, and real-life tools to evaluate your income, your impact, and your inner world, all for just $149 a month with no lock-in contracts. So if you are serious about stepping into your rich lady identity, redefining success on your terms, and making meaningful money without losing yourself in the process, head over to www.those2sisters.au/membership or come join the conversation on our Facebook page, The Rich Lady Revolution. Your next level isn't just calling, it's right here waiting for you. Trust me, your future self will thank you for it.